Hotel Grand National on Grandstand next Saturday. Now, just before we return to the Rugby League, latest from the football, Arsenal won Sheffield Wednesday 0 in the FA Carling Premiership. Dennis Bergkamp after 35 minutes. Remember, Arsenal 6 points behind Manchester United, 3 matches in hand. Nothing for United so far. It's goalless at Old Trafford, their match with Wimbledon. The big match in Scotland, Celtic against Hearts. First against second, that's goalless. Dunfermline 1, Rangers 1, also a latest score. Right, we've got the draw for the first round proper of the World Snooker Championship coming up after our Rugby League from Headingley. And could it be after extra time from Headingley? Because it's hard to pick a winner of this Silk Cup Challenge Cup semi-final as they take the field for the second half. It's Sheffield 10, Salford 10, and we're back with our commentary team of Richard Duckenfield, Jonathan Davis and Ray French.
Well, it won't be after extra time, Steve. We will go into a replay if it remains as tight as it is. It'll be 40 minutes to decide whether Sheffield make their first visit to Wembley or Salford return after a 29 years absence. Just 4 tries, and I think there'll be some more tries, but I do think, John, we could be heading for a draw here.
Well, I can see a drop goal maybe playing a significant part in this way, but it is very, very tight, and it could go either way.
Back into the action then, and the sun has moved behind the clouds since it caused so much trouble to Sheffield Eagles' Nick Pinkney. We should have no problems under the high kicks, I think, in this second half.
On the Salford Red bench with assistant coach John Foran. John, what was the word at half-time?
Start controlling the ball, basically. We're not controlling our sets of 6, and we're turning the ball over, and basically it's our fault that's turning the game over to Sheffield at the moment. So we're going to get a bit tighter this half and hopefully take a result out of this game.
Was there a feeling that you should have had more points really in the first half?
Yeah, we did a lot of tackling in the first 20 minutes. We did a lot of attacking in the first 20 minutes. But we never got a try, which I thought we should have scored. But we'll keep plugging away and hopefully we'll come up with a result.
Thanks, John.
John Foran there, the assistant coach, to Andy Gregory, a very experienced man in Wembley campaigns himself. Andy Platt leading from the front, as we said. 13 runs, invariably from the first receiver. That's where the hard work has to be done. There he is, hovering behind Peter Edwards. No need this time, though, as Edwards slices through. Rogers. Oh, he's so near. Salford making a good start to this second half. Edwards. Back to White. White and Crompton again in the middle. White looking for support on Winder. He's got Phil Cousins. Crompton looking for the drop goal, and it looks to be there. Mr. Cummins just checking with his touch judges. No hesitation there from Martin Crompton. A drop goal from the Salford loose forward, and that could be so important, John.
Yeah, as I just said, you know, it is very, very tight, and it's a good option. Yeah, he's got plenty of time, and like I said, it is the option that they have. He could have done it, you know, Josh White could have done it. So, you know, take the points while you're there.
And there is something about a drop goal, John. It may only be 1 point in rugby league, but it's a confidence boost so early in the second half, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I said, you even said that the bookies don't know which way this is going to go, so it could come down to that 1 point.
Somehow I don't think it will, John. I think we'll see some more tries. Watson to Broadbent. Mr. Cummings speaking to the players, constantly reassuring them after any contentious decisions. Referees are like lighthouse keepers. They have very, very lonely jobs, but he's getting on well with the players. Paul Broadbent, 19 tackles made. As we said earlier on, these really are very, very fit men in rugby league, especially up front there in the pack. Didn't kick for Gary Broadbent. That was a good kick, John, because in actual fact, it was not kicked to go into touch, it was kicked just to stay in that corner.
Yeah, as you see, the Salford players coming back now. He just got to get back there, and it just takes a couple of tackles to get reorganised again. Just uses the tackles up.
David Hume, 2 Wembley appearances in his 16-year campaign in rugby league, and a CD from Marlow. He shrugs off the would-be tackler there. Eastern Samoan international, well automated at Headingley on this pitch, former Leeds player. Blakely to Naylor. Gets it back to McAvoy. McAvoy's well held here. Frantic defence here by Tywer for Sheffield Eagles. Josh White. Losing himself a little there, but always probing, always putting pressure around that ruck area. And it's Blakely with a drop goal this time, and another successful one. Steve Blakely spotted his chance, and another point goes over. The Salford Reds girls dance in the air, the supporters punch the air, and why shouldn't they at 12-10 in the lead?
Again, the option, there's nothing on it. It's Blakely this time, you know, he just slots it over. Like I said, if it's there, just take the points.
It's obvious that Andy Gregory, who liked to drop goal or two himself in his day, he's obviously told them at half-time not to come away from the line without any points, John.
Well, like, you know, it is going to be extremely tight, you know, and if they get a try now, it's just Sheffield have got to score twice.
Andy Gregory just having a word with one or two of the substitutes. The initiative then in this second half, immediately with Salford.
Substitution for Sheffield, number 12, Harry Shaw, on corner number 11.
Salford, known as the Red Devils for their exploits in France in the early 30s under Gus Risman. They were christened that by the French, but here, of course, playing in their away strip of blue. Watson. Cleverly using that blind side. You often find one or two forwards having a breather down there, but there was nobody there. Good switch inside. Ball bents underneath it. And he takes it.
Superb take there, you know, and just gives your side a lot of confidence when you see that your full-back taking those high balls.
Never took his eye off that ball, did the young lad. The Petals. And Faimalo again, he's relishing these runs. Early batters Tywer to the ground. Peter Edwards too, relishing the work up front. 75 successive matches for Salford. That's some going up front in the front row. Compton. Took a knock. Good kick by Josh White as Doyle just attends to his ankle. Perfectly placed, this kick. Watson. We've not seen an awful lot of Watson on attack, John.
No, he's been relatively quiet, but he's a type of player, you know, he only one flash of brilliance could turn the match.
It needs these Sheffield Eagles forwards to gain some hard yards down the middle to get the Eagles camped out in that Salford 20-metre. But they're having problems piercing this Salford defence. The crowd not very happy there with Naylor's tactics, pulling the Eagles player to the ground. This is better from Sheffield now. Watson, Savatamour. Back to Watson again. Here's the magic that Jonathan Davis was talking about, this Kiwi. Lawless got Aston with him. Just couldn't get that pass away.
Again, poor play there in the last tackle, Ray, you know. He just set him up. They had no chance to do anything there, Mark Aston just had to take the tackle.
And yet quite often, you know, you catch your side out if you do run it on that last tackle, John.
Yeah, you do, Ray, but like they were totally unorganised there. And like I said, Salford have got you know, the options of a variety of kickers, whereas You know, with Aston, it doesn't seem to be another kicker in the side.
Aston, one of the Eagles' longest-serving players, most experienced, well picked up by Crompton. Back inside to McAvoy. Again, this time to Blakely. Blakely to Broadbent. This is good rugby from Salford Reds. But good covering there by Sheffield Eagles. They got 4 men back behind the ball. Salford now with an overlap. Crompton to Naylor. He's got Cousins outside. Tremendous tackle. Oh, Bright Sodgy did well there. Did a punch go in there? I'm pretty sure it did. A battle there between Sodgy and Cousins while Rogers has attention. It's hotting up here now at Headingley. Absolutely no need for that. Well, it was more of a slap than a punch. Silly, petulant play.
Yeah, silly play there, Ray, and it'll be interesting to see what decision comes, because if the penalty goes against Sheffield, they were in possession and John Keir would be distraught.
Like 2 kids in the playground, really, John.
Yeah, he just wanted the ball, and he wouldn't leave it go. Just trying to slow the ball down again, play the ball down. So
Mr. Cummins giving the penalty against Salford. The decision that he is implementing is that Salford were actually holding Sodgy and stopping him from continuing with play. See Darren Turner there with his boot in his hand after that ankle injury. He'll not be back on the field, but still only 2 points the difference between the two sides. Half an hour remaining. Martin Wood now on the pitch. A good ball player. Just watch this man Wood handle the ball. He put the ball out in front of him. He looked for the gaps. Broadbent, there is the man Wood. He's looking for support. Oh, it's not there. And he loses the ball.
yeah, unfortunately, I think the impact of hitting the floor just dislodged the ball. But he will give Sheffield the variety now as a kicker as well.
Good covering by David Hume too. But this is the time in a match when ball players like Martin Wood can create a try.
Yeah, some of the forwards will start to tire and the gaps will open up.
Salford on the attack down that right-hand side. Edwards to Blakely. He's got Crompton and McAvoy lining up outside him. He chooses the inside route to Naylor. Naylor's going for that line. Oh, it's a good tackle. Tremendous effort from Savatapur. And Martin Wood. The line was open. Wembley was beckoning. And this man pulled off a tackle that could possibly still yet see Eagles on the trail.
Yeah, Naylor's going for the trail, and that's a fantastic tackle by Savatapur.
Tiring visibly and rapidly now. This is why the two coaches are putting the quick runners on. They're putting the ball players on. Men like here, Michael Jackson, just signed by the Eagles from Halifax in January. And Aston settling things down, gaining composure with that long kick. And that's a sensible kick from Mark Aston, rightly getting a good round of applause there, John.
Yeah, I think, this time he wanted the ball to go into touch purely because they've been under the cosh for the last 10 minutes, so they just needed a bit of a break there for the forwards.
Just look at that statistic there for Salford. That's the pressure that Sheffield have been under.
Yeah, but they still only come away with 2 points straight, 2 drop goals that defences are holding up.
And there comes a time in a game, John, when you seem to, if you hold out so long, you seem to hit back, don't you?
Yeah, there's some very talented players out there, great rugby players, and the last 20 you bring people like Wood, and Watson and Blakely who come into it, Josh White.
Safety first rugby from Salford.
Yeah, Nick Mbago has been pretty quiet today. He's a fantastic player, McAvoy, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he did something in the game.
Andy Platt doing plenty in the game, charges into Johnny Lawless there, but to Lawless's credit, he sticks to the task, he pulls him down. Martin Crompton. Peter Edwards to Blakely. But he was going to try a long-range drop goal. But no, it's a high ball. Sodzi and Sabata ball there. They've mixed it up between them. Oh, he must be offside. He's offside. Cousins in front. In fact, if I think he'd left it to Steve Blakely, I think Blakely could have scored, and I think that's what Steve Blakely was telling him. First offence he's giving, offside.
First offence, but again, you know, a lack of communication. You know, by Sodzi and Sabata Boer. Very fortunate, he's just in front of it, definitely. He's in a fantastic position, the referee was.
And when the ball comes down like this, John, Blakely kicks it forward. It's very difficult for Cousins to resist picking it up, isn't it?
Yeah, he just, you know, he should have held back there, but fantastic positioning play by the referee there coming.
So, the Sheffield Eagles line escapes yet again. Using that blindside well with Josh White. Clever play there, but very cleverly spotted too by the Eagles' Jackson. By Marlow, charging for the line.
Certainly made an impact after coming on right by Marlow.
Crompton looking to move it out wide now. We've got Naylor here. Naylor going back. Oh, it's not on. Picked up. And still Sheffield Eagles survive. Still only the 2-point difference. Well, no wonder Andy Gregory shakes his head. I think he knows he should have had a try or two in this last 15 minutes. But all credit to the Yorkshiremen. They've held firm. And you've got to put your chances away in the semi-final, John.
Yeah, they've created 2 chances now. They should have scored with one of them, but you know, credit to Sheffield. They just defended very, very well.
11 handling errors, quite high for this stage of a semi-final, but I think both sides have been trying to play the rugby, trying to push the pass around the man. Broadbent loses the ball again.
Again, Ray, they've lost their discipline here. You know, John Keir won't be happy. You know, they should have put the kick down there. You can't turn possession over in your own half in the last tackle.
Joaquini Sevilio, another man from Western Samoa, waiting to come on. Andy Platt. How many times have we said Andy Platt at first receiver, setting the example. White to Blakely. He's got Crompton out there. He's got the options of sending McAvoy through. It's on the 5th tackle. To Josh White, that's a delicate kick. Well taken.
Yeah, just a bit too strong there, Ray. It's a nice easy take there for Pinky.
Sheffield Eagles, though, not really making the progress down the middle, as Eccles has a rest and Sevilio takes up the charge, and there is Cliff Eccles. Done a good job. Wood. I really think there should be a couple of half-backs following Martin Wood there, one on either side. Aston sends Darren Rogers back to that corner. Rogers quite content to let the ball go out of play there. He has the head ball, and Keith Senior, the man who threw that infamous punch against Castleford and got himself a £200 fine and a 4-match suspension, He looks as though he's ruining the punch, John. I think he'd like to be on the field.
Yeah, I think so, but you know, you can't afford to do it. But the good thing is, you know, he'll be back for the final if Sheffield get through it.
Sheffield win, lose or draw this afternoon, really coming of age after 14 years of apprenticeship in rugby league. Just cost £7,000 at the start 14 years ago, worth a lot more than that now. Compton. Sodji wanted to avoid a knock-on. Not very sensible play coming across the front of your post, John.
Well, that's a great chase again, and that was Andy Platt, you know. He's been a fantastic player. He still is. He is a great player and leads from the front.
And a mistake, nerves, I think, from Fatu Taiwa. Well judged by Nick Pinkney, but he just couldn't hold that ball. He really came across at the wrong angle, didn't he? He was too flat.
Yeah, I think he had one eye on the opposition there as well, so, you know, a big mistake.
20 minutes remaining then, just those two drop goals, the difference. Crompton and Blakely, the lads who put the ball over the crossbar.
Cliff Eccles is back on the Salford Reg bench. Cliff, I mean, 2 drop goals, but do you feel that there should have been chances for more points, really?
Yeah, we've bombed at least 2 tries that I can remember in the second half, you know, and the mistakes were made in the first half really let them back in the game. We should be sort of 16 or 20 points in front now.
Okay, Cliff, thanks very much.
Clever play behind the scrum there from Salford, but not really going anywhere. Savilio charges in as it gets very, very hard there in the middle now. I think both sides know that a score has got to come very, very quickly. Naylor. Oh, it's picked up there by Pinkney. It's a slip. He's only got David Hume. Rodgers is trailing him. It's Pinkney going for the corner. Rodgers is getting back there, and he gets him. Oh, a tremendous cover back there by Darren Rodgers. Nick Pinkney couldn't make the line, and all credit to David Hume, John. Yeah. He kept him out there.
Yeah, I think Pinkney's one of the quickest men in rugby league, and Darren Rodgers chased him all the way. But the important player here is David Hume. He holds him up, you know, just forces him out to the touchline, and just allows Darren Rodgers to make the tackle into the corner. That's great play from a forward there, who just holds the other winger up to make his own winger to make the tackle.
And we were showing some concern that he was 34 years of age, John.
Just as I said, you know, a true professional, you know, his fitness stands are fantastic.
I wish I had for breakfast what he's having. So it's Salford's head and ball, and they still lead by those 2 points. Naylor. Back to Broadbent. Gary Broadbent really beginning to make his presence felt in this second half now. Coming up more and more and linking in that three-quarter line. And just look who's there now. David Hume, the forward who trailed back 70 metres, and there he is taking the ball away. Asini Faimalo still gets that ball away. Blakely. And Andy Gregory, he can't keep still. John Keir, the more relaxed, the more composed. Back to Josh White. Oh, that's a towering kick. It's checking an age to come down, but Savata Moore never took his eye off the ball. A full-back in both Rugby League and Rugby Union for Fiji.
Yeah, just a bit too far to the kick, and the chase wasn't good, so a nice easy catch. Again, you can't afford to make those mistakes. You know, watch this now. Sodji gets up, plays the ball, Crowder's in there. Well, you know, he was lying there, we should have picked it up.
Paul Forber, another experienced player on for Andy Platt. Forber, a Wembley player himself, and Gregory just thanking Platt for all the effort that he's put in.
certainly led from the front, Ray, but he's a tremendous player.
Naylor to McAvoy. Nathan McAvoy, one of the many youngsters who emerged out of the Great Britain Academy side. Savilio. Paul Forber, very often the game breaker. Many of these substitutes are now quite specialists in the role. Edwards driving in there. Oh, he's looking for the try. Forber's claiming the try. He's given it. It's on the line. A lot of consternation there. But finally, the try has been given to Peter Edwards. When the ball goes down on the line, it is a try in rugby league. Mr. Cummins was right on the spot. The in-goal judge behind. Mr. Walton said he was.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch it. He just goes here after the run by Forber. Two tacklers take him down. Let's see where the ball goes. Well, I think it's a try. Yes, it's on the line. Well, it's a difficult decision to do that with a referee, but he was in a superb spot. Great position. Look at him. He couldn't be any closer. He holds the ball up. Well, it's his decision.
Yep.
It was on the line, Ray, I think.
And it does appear to go down on the line. I thought for 1 minute, John, it touched the grass before the line, but I don't think it did in that second replay. He held it up cleverly and just had the strength to put it on that line.
Well, Stuart Cameron was in a fantastic position there. He was closer than anyone else, so, you know.
As we said, referees are like lighthouse keepers. Nobody wants to know them. Good kick.
And those two drop goals are very, very important now, Ray. Like I said, Sheffield have got to score twice.
18-10 then for Salford. And I think, John, that is probably a reflection of the game in this second half. Salford have had the chances to put away and didn't.
Andy Gregory will be relieved now that they had to put turn the pressure into points, and that's what Peter Edwards has done. But look at this. It's a fantastic effort to score from there, because he's got two players, one behind, and Watson is a very strong player. Just keeps the elbow off the ground, gets the ball on the line. That's a little try and a fantastic decision by the referee.
And a mistake by Sheffield Eagles, and it's Edwards to the fore there. He's instructing the touch judge on this left-hand side, Mr. Leyland. He wants the decision. And Paul Broadbent, like Andy Platt, still taking time to sign an autograph or two for the youngsters after all that work. We picked the two of them out at the beginning, and they've justified our selections with their hard work. Tabatagua. But this match isn't over yet by any means. 8 points is not a winning total in a semi-final. Not with a side as talented as Sheffield Eagles. Gregory quite happy. John Keir wondering where things are going wrong. Martin Wood just delayed his pass, got it back to Dave Watson. Watson can see a gap. Aston electing to run the ball. Wood gets a nice pass away to Jackson. Picked up by Pickney. Now then, Pickney's got space again. He kicks inside. Aston's going for the ball. And that's a try. A wonderful piece of play by Sheffield Eagles. They ran the ball on the final tackle. And the men from down the M1 are back in the game again. His 50th try. And if he can pop this conversion over, we're back to those two drop goals, the difference.
Again, Aston looks at the gun, and there's the option. Wood. Aston knows he can make the pass because Wood can kick, but he slips on. There's a lucky pass there, but it's a tremendous kick here because he spots Aston on the inside. A lucky bounce. Good try.
Mark Aston then, looking at a crucial 2 points. It's a straightforward kick, and he takes it. No problems.
Again, a speculative pass. Pinky picks it up, and he looks at Aston on his inside. That's a great kick. A lovely bounce, and he's under the post, and they're back in the game, Sheffield.
It's a try. Just over 10 minutes remaining then. 2 drop goals the difference from Crompton and Blakely. A place at Wembley at stake to meet the winners of tomorrow's clash with London Broncos and Wigan. And Nick Pinkney, the hero on this right wing for Sheffield. Savilio. By Marlowe. These two Pacific Islanders, Savilio and Familo, getting through a lot of running here now. They're eager, they're fresh, and none more eager than this lad, David Hume. Great campaigner over 16 years, over 450 matches in rugby league. Back to Pinkney again. Good ball to Sabatabua. Back to Tyler. Good tackle. But Sheffield Eagles now making play down this right-hand side. Sabatabua. He loses the ball, but it's been ripped out. Now then, oh, he's taken the tap. Should Sheffield have gone for a penalty goal? There's 2 points difference there.
He's a long way out there, Ray, so I think they'll kick the touch anyway.
Well, I've seen Mark Aston kicked off, but it's Sheffield now going in at that far corner. Paul Kerr. He's got Shaw with him. Good tackle by Gary Broadbent. Broadbent had to go high there against the more powerful man. Dale Lawton gushing forward. And Dale Lawton is over. Oh, a powerful burst by the big drop forward. The red, white and balloons go up in the air. The fans can hardly believe it. And it's Sheffield back. Well, tremendous effort from the big, powerful front rower. Only his 7th try in 110 appearances. And the most valuable one of all, John.
Yeah, just comes from deep here, you know, it's a mismatch, runs at Crompton, that's a good try. He's played extremely well all game, Dale Lawton. You know, him and Broadbent have just been taking the ball forward. Hits the ball at pace, you know, from depth. Immense strength to put the ball over the try, great try.
And 2 tries in 3 minutes there from Aston and Lawton. Suddenly put the Eagles on the way to Wembley. Mark Aston then with another, well, it's not a difficult kick, John, but this is a pressure kick, as you know.
Yeah, they're all pressure kicks now with, you know, Wembley beckoning, but they certainly picked the pace up, you know, they've given the ball a bit of airing.
Mark Aston looking to take out that points difference to 4. Just inside that 20-metre area. He's on target. Straight between the uprights. And from despair, it's to joy as John Keir leaves his place in the grandstand and comes down there now. Just look at the joy on the man's face. It's a nervous time to be a coach, John.
Yeah, it's semi-finals, you know. It's a dreadful place, you know, to lose. You know, at least you got to Wembley. You know, if you've got something. But you know, it's a very intense pressure place.
7 minutes then to decide which team will be first in the programme for Wembley. Sheffield Eagles or Salford. 4 points the difference. 22-18 in the Eagles' favour. Broadbent back on the field again. Both of these sides will have to move this ball around now. David Hume. Crompton. Good tackle there from Lawless. Peter Edwards. On the 5th tackle. Now then, it's Josh White to test Sabatabur again. Well, there's no real distance in that. There's height. In a way, I think these high bombs with tall men like Savatabur at the background, I don't think they're all that effective, John.
Well, I think, I think it is effective, very effective. If the chase is effective, unfortunately, there's a lot of tired players out there, and the chase was very, very poor, which was an easy take, They're just turning possession over there, and they can't afford to do it, with less than like 5 minutes left.
Well, I bow down to your experience.
And Dale Lawton, they proved to be the Sheffield Eagles hero, but he's in some pain in scoring that try. He's twisted his knee, and Dale Lawton has had to leave the field. He's back on the Sheffield Eagles bench there.
Gary Broadbent. Sheffield tackling for dear life now. Significant how they've crowded into the centre to stop these forwards making the gap. By Marlowe, well held. Josh White, David Hume. Whatever the results, I think David Hume can hold his head high. Had a fine game. White, Blakely to Crompton. One last throw of the dice here to McAvoy with a good tackle. Crunching tackle by Fletcher Tyweather. Back to Blakely. Good pass inside to Scott Naylor. Here's a chance for Salford on the 5th tackle. And that's a penalty. Holding down at the tackle. Delavan. Some problems, John, as to whether they go for goal, but they're not. They're going for the try.
They've got to run it, Ray. They need 4 points. The clock's running down. They have to run it.
The clock's running down as Famalo charges to that line. He beats off one man. He's like a billiard ball bouncing off cushions, this Famalo. He really does pound into them. Blakely to Paul Forber. Forber cuts back inside to Naylor. Back to Josh White. Salford still in possession. Crunching tackle there.
Good tackle there, Fettu.
McAvoy looking to go round the outside. 2 tackles remaining in this sequence. Rogers to White. That's a good long ball to Blakely. There's a little space out here, but not a good pass. Picked up by Savilio. Back to Cousins. Oh, a fortunate touch there for Eagles, and Pinkney comes away, but a good tackle. Savilio tracked him all the way.
Is that their last chance there, Ray?
Just 3.5 minutes remaining. Could that have been Salford's last chance? Eagles holding on to this ball, coming away just in solo darts and dashes. Martin Wood. We heard John Keir saying at the beginning of the Grandstand programme how he planned this campaign long ago. It looks like being successful. On the 5th tackle, Aston will want to keep... Oh, that's not a good kick. He's knocked it on. The last tackle, a knock on, a chance for Salford, John.
Yeah, again, John Keir won't be happy with that. He's got to, put the ball in near the, the opposition's try line now with only a couple of minutes left.
Paul Forber. To Blakely. Crompton. And that's a penalty. Taking a man out off the ball. There we see Scott Naylor on the floor. Took a knock, he hadn't got possession of the ball. But Salford keen to get this ball into action.
Yeah, he's just taken out, you can just see his legs out, he was taken out before Broadbent.
2 minutes remaining. Possibly a last chance for Salford. By Marlowe, charging in. 15 metres from the line. Desperate defence here from Sheffield Eagles. Blakely. Out to Crompton. He's got 3 men with him. He's got McAvoy there. Crompton going himself. Well picked up by Dave Watson. 5 metres from the Eagles line. Scott Naylor. He's a strong lad. He gets the ball back well to Broadbent. He didn't knock on the last tackle. McAvoy. Josh White. He's got Cousins out there. Oh, Sochi was in. He flew in at him there. There was no way Cousins was getting past Bright Sochi. Great tackle, John.
Yeah, I think that's what's called a hospital pass there. Just gave you no chance, and Sochi was on him.
And Sheffield Eagles will hold this ball, surely. They'll take it away from the acting half-back position or the first receiver. As long as they hold that ball, they're going to Wembley. Less than 60 seconds of normal time remaining. And have the Eagles finally landed in Rugby League? Will they set down at Wembley on May the 2nd?
It'd be amazing, that Headingley and Gary Hetherington now is the chief executive of Leeds. It's amazing that he started all the Sheffield Leagues up, and they could be going to Wembley, and he's not there.
It certainly is. It's rather ironical, and he had to dip into his own pocket 14 years ago to keep them alive. They almost went under, but here they are. But is it all over? As Salford launch one last attack. Rodgers. I think Andy Gregory knows now that it's going to take some spectacular movement. We'll need one of those backs, and it's all over! Or is it all over? No, it's not. The Sheffield players had stopped at the hooter. A tremendous tackle. He loses the ball. Well, carelessness almost robbed Sheffield Eagles of a place there at Wembley. But they are there. Smiles all over John Keir's face. And a referee being attacked there by a supporter, a mindless moron who has run onto the field. And for goodness sake, we never want to see the likes of that in Rugby League. And Stuart Cummings is in some considerable pain down there. What a disgrace for the sport to be besmirched by an incident like this. And there we see the incident. A mindless attack on an official. And I'm sure those players have restrained themselves and they didn't attack that supporter.
I just hope he's all right, sir.
John Keir, Eagles coach, congratulations, John. That's an objective achieved.
Yeah, I thought we did okay today, and it's rather an emotional time. It's something you dream about from being a kid, and these people deserve it, and those blocks out there were absolutely magnificent, and they deserve it.
You say you did okay, but it just was okay. I mean, Salford in some ways missed some chances.
They did, yes, and we missed a couple as well. We didn't play as fluently as last time, but that's down to Salford. They're a very tough, nuggety side. They grind you down, they keep the ball. It's a tough old game, is this. It's a typical Rugby League semi-final, and we'll take the result anyway.
Big news in Sheffield.
I believe so, yes. I think they'll be quite enjoying ourselves tonight. Great stuff it is.
Congratulations, John. Well done.
John Keir has every right to be pleased there, I think, John, with that performance. His players have certainly performed for him. Petu Taiwo from New Zealand put the hard tackles in when it was necessary.
Dale Lawton score of the match-winning try, but it was a painful try for you, wasn't it, Dale?
It was very hard. I mean, I was out on my feet. I just thought I'd give it one last go, and it just come off, and it's a dream come true.
Did you think really in the second half that Salford were going to take that game?
I mean, we're the team, we're always going to go out and give us 100%. And we never give up, and it just shows we never give up then. And we're going for a full 80 minutes. John Keir told us to go for a full 80 minutes, and we did. And we come out victorious.
You've nobody in this team that's been to Wembley, have you?
No, as far as I know, Keith Steiner might have done broad ball bent with great bit inside, but we'll make